What's going down, squad? Rob Mendoza with RMD Mortgage Marketing. Today wanted to dive into how to stand out in your market. Really important, but something that too many LOs don't spend enough time on. So let's dive on in. Now, when it comes to marketing for loan officers, everyone is focusing the vast majority of their time and effort on realtor outreach. And I totally understand the logic behind it, right? Most of the time, realtors are the powerhouse of your marketing system. But a lot of times LOs are running into a lot of the same problems. It's a lot of, I already have a lender that I'm working with. And these LOs don't have a value proposition that's strong enough to get this realtor to actually start working with you, right? So it's really important that we develop that value proposition to incentivize them to really work with you. And most of the time we look for more scripting and strategies, tips, structures to kind of ninja our way into these realtor partnerships, when in reality, we should be focused on developing your own personal marketing strategy, your own consumer direct strategy first, because that is the marketing foundation that's going to help get you into the door with other awesome realtors. Because at that point, you're sourcing some of your own business, so you have referrals to pass. And now you have the knowledge of how to generate leads, so you can also share that with your realtor partners, okay? So what I want to do today is walk you guys through what I call the niche insider. It's a simple one-page exercise that really helps you hone in on the foundation of your marketing, which is ultimately your value proposition, or at least the base layer of your value proposition. Sorry. And I guess before we dive on in, I'm going to drop a link so you guys can download this for anyone that wants to snag a copy. So that'll be just below this video or above, depending on which platform you're on. Cool? Okay, so the niche insider, what are we looking at here? Before we dive on in, I just wanted to draw your attention to this little graphic on the bottom of the screen. So on the left, we have unaware, and on the right, we have most aware, and then we have everything in between. And this is just a really powerful mindset shift that I think a lot of LOs need to start taking, because ultimately what we are is advisors, right? You are a problem solver. You're not a commodity, okay? You are helping someone set up their financial future. And it's really important to approach your marketing and your sales and your delivery of your product with that mindset of being an advisor, okay? It's not about, just being the lowest rate. It's about the advice that you're providing. That is where your true value lies, okay? So let's go ahead and dive on into the questions here. First question, which is probably the most important one. Who are your customers? This question is so important, and so many LOs get this question wrong, all right? The two most common answers that I hear to this are, well, my ideal clients are buyers, right? And the other one that I hear, which is kind of a little more interesting, is my ideal clients are realtors, okay? So we'll touch on both these, but let's start with buyers, right? Now, the concept or the idea of my ideal clients are buyers, right, is technically right. You're looking for people that want to buy homes, but from a marketing perspective, it makes your life really difficult, right? Because what are buyers? Buyers are people who buy things. So if my marketing message says, I help buyers, that's not going to get anyone excited and say, holy shit, that's me. This marketing message is clearly tailored to me. They understand my situation. I want to work with this person and find out more about what they have to say and how they might be able to help me. That's not going to happen with a generic marketing message that really is the only thing that you can come up with when your ideal client is buyers, right? The other thing that happens is it makes it really difficult to have a logical place to begin. And what I mean by that is, if you're looking for buyers and I were to ask you, okay, perfect, you're looking for buyers, where should we start looking for buyers, or what's a good place to begin? Most LOs that I ask this question to will sit there for a second and they'll say, I don't know, that's why I'm talking to you. And my response to that is, well, guess what? I don't know where to look for buyers either, okay? It's too hard to know where to look for everyone, because everyone is everywhere, right? And there's no, again, logical place to begin. So it makes life really tough. And compare that to if we start to get specific with it, right? Let's say I'm looking for millennials that are first-time homebuyers in South LA. Now I can start to think about, okay, where do these people hang out in person? Where do these people hang out online? What other businesses do they work with, right? Because that's going to help me understand, what other potential referral partners can I team up with? So it just makes it that much easier to start peeling back the layers and figure out, your attack plan from there, really. All right. So we got to get specific. Don't be afraid to niche down. It's going to make your life that much easier. Okay. We'll talk more about that in a later video, but that's what I wanted to touch on for that. The other side of the equation, the realtor ideal client, really, really interesting because realtors are not your ideal client. They are your ideal referral partner. And what you should be doing is working with realtors to market to your ideal client. Okay, it's not I'm marketing to realtors and to your ideal client in the same fashion. If you're trying to use the same methodology, you're really going to struggle, right? Because if you're not collaborating and working with them, then you're just really relying on your rates, service, communication, availability. And as soon as you make a mistake, right, the next person that comes along and says, hey, I have great service and communication, that realtor is just going to hop, and move on because your value proposition is the same thing as everyone else's out there. So you're very easily replaced, right? Now think about if your your value proposition is marketing based, right? Because you've developed your own consumer direct strategy. Now you're passing referrals. Now you're a valuable part of their marketing system. Okay, and now it's much more difficult to replace you at that point. All right, so that's why we have to focus our value on yourself, your marketing plan, your consumer direct outreach. All right, cool. So let's move on down to the next couple questions here. So what are 5 problems they're experiencing, they're being your ideal clients, and then what are 5 aspirations they have? All right. Really, really important questions, and the answers to these 2 questions have to be the foundation of absolutely everything that you're doing from a marketing perspective, okay? You, again, are a problem solver, and you have to approach your marketing with that mindset, okay? And you cannot answer these questions thoroughly enough if you don't answer the first question of who your ideal clients are, all right? Because once you start to look at the market, everyone's gonna have a little bit of a different situation, which means they have different problems, right? Because if I'm looking at a first-time home buyer, they're gonna have a completely different set of problems than, let's say, an empty nester, right? Because if I'm a first-time home buyer, maybe I'm renting or I'm living at home and I want my own space. I want some more privacy. I wanna be closer to the nightlife, right? Those are the problems and things that I want. Compare that to the empty nester where maybe their house is too big and they want a smaller house because their electricity bill is too high from heating and cooling the house. And maybe they want to be further away from the nightlife and all the busy activity of the city, okay? So everything starts to split off from the first question and everything starts to build from there, all right? So understanding what problems they're facing is understanding where they're at this current moment. And understanding their wants and aspirations is where they want to be in the future. And your job through your marketing, through the delivery of your service, and through the nurture, the follow-up that you're doing after you've helped them close their loan is helping them be the bridge that's getting them to the other side, from taking them to their problems to where they want to go. All right, and that should be your job. That's the job of an advisor. All right. Cool. So moving on down, what do your ideal clients or what do your clients want to avoid? This is another really, really powerful question to answer. And the reason I asked this, or one of the reasons I asked this, is because a lot of LOs, sorry about the car driving by, a lot of LOs have a bad habit of just staying very surface level with their marketing. Because I'll give you an example. What are the problems of your ideal clients? A lot of times I'll get the answer of, well, they're renting and they wanna buy a home. And yeah, okay, that is, high level what they want, but there's so much more that's going on. There's so much more on an individual level of what these people want to achieve, where they want to be in the future, what their dreams and what their vision is, all right? And it's important to understand that because, again, that's how we create a really, really powerful marketing message. So answering the question of what do your clients want to avoid, okay, that's going to give us things like the cost of waiting comes to mind, right? That's a really, really powerful thing that relates directly to this question. What do your clients want to avoid? So wasting money, being able to, not being able to retire on time, or not being able to do the fun things that they want to be doing, all these other things that happen if they don't solve their current problems, that is what we need to be incorporating into our marketing message as well, with the problems that your clients are experiencing and the wants that they have for the future. Okay, awesome. So let's move on down to our next question here, which is what are the solutions to their problems? Again, this is where we start developing the actual message of your marketing, right? So first we need to know what are the problems they have, what are the wants that they have, and now we're looking at, okay, what solutions can I provide, right? And once we can answer these questions, now we can say, okay, this is what I should make my video about. This is what we should create a webinar or a workshop around, because these are the solutions to our clients, right? And that's how you start to develop really, really powerful marketing pieces. I see too many loan officers when it comes to their marketing. Again, they're kind of shooting the shotgun. They're trying to catch everyone. Or something that I see a lot of times is they're offering solutions to people that they don't want to be attracting. So they haven't done this exercise all the way through. And a good example of this is putting on a webinar for first-time home buyers getting down payment assistance. Okay, I see this all the time. People haven't taken the time to really develop a marketing plan, look at who their ideal clients are, the problems they have, what they want, and then just say, you know what, I'm gonna put on a webinar for first-time home buyers and down payment assistance. Okay, so they put it on and they say, man, every time I put one of these on, everyone that I'm attracting is they're really not qualified. They don't have good credit, they don't have any money for the down payment and closing costs. And I always look back to this exact exercise and I ask them, well, who are you trying to attract, right? Who are your ideal clients? And they paint a completely different picture than a first-time home buyer that needs down payment assistance. So then I say, okay, your message is, your solutions are marketed towards first-time home buyers that need down payment assistance. But you're telling me that's not who you want to attract. So something's obviously not connecting here. We need to revisit your ideal client and start from the foundation of your plan. Okay, so really, really important that we dive into this and get a really clear picture from the top down, and these exercises, these questions are answered in order. Okay, awesome. And then moving on down to our second to last question here, what makes you and your service unique or different from your competitors? I love this question so much. And I think so many loan officers take the lazy approach to this question. The most common answer, which you probably have in your head right now, is, well, the thing that makes me unique is my service and my communication. Okay, and yes, while your service and communication might be very, very good, to use that as your answer of the thing that makes you unique is a little bit tone deaf, because if you've talked to any other loan officers about this sort of subject matter, you'll know that 95+% say the same exact thing. And if everyone's saying that their great thing is service and communication, by definition, that is no longer unique, right? Because the whole market says that that's their thing. So we really need to start digging deeper and looking at who's the niche that you service. That's a great way to start differentiating yourself. I help this specific segment of the market. That's who I specialize in, right? And then looking at the advice that you provide around that. How do we specifically solve problems for that segment of the market, right? How do I have an in-depth understanding of their problems, where they want to go, and how to overcome those hurdles, okay? That's how we start to differentiate ourselves from the competition, all right? And last but not least here, what experience could you give them that would gain their loyalty as a customer? All right. Now, again, this is another one where I think people over rely on service and communication. And I'll probably throw closing on time in on this one as well. Okay. Now, service, communication, closing on time, they're all very important. I'm not trying to downplay their importance, but I will say those things are your job. That's what you're getting paid to do. So doing those things isn't really that special. Okay, so we really have to, again, dive one level deeper and look at what else can we be doing. Okay, so looking at not only should we be closing their loan on time and communicating throughout the process, we should be advising on the whole picture, the financial wealth. What are we doing to set this person up to be, very, very financially fit into the future? And that's where that advisor mindset comes into play. Okay, so doing things like presenting them different options, looking at their loan not just from an interest rate perspective, right? And then incorporating your other referral partners into the conversation, right? How can we help connect them with people like financial planners and accountants to set them up well into the future? If they're someone that's needing work done on the house, how can we connect them with people in the trades that are reputable and can do a great job helping them get that home to where they want it to be? So excuse me. Now we're incorporating not just, closing the loan on time and great service and communication and all that, but now we're connecting them with awesome people, which is a great way to provide value to them. We're also providing awesome value to our referral partners because we're bringing new business to them as well, which ultimately circles back to you from both of those different angles, and everybody wins. Okay? And one other thing that I wanted to touch on for this question, which isn't directly related, but it is in a way. A lot of loan officers have a habit of posting their reviews on social media. Okay, it's great to collect reviews. You definitely should be collecting reviews. I would not be posting them on social media, and here is why. Okay, it's great to see, oh, okay, I got 5 stars. Joe Schmo, mortgage officer, he communicated and closed my loan on time. It was great. Okay, that doesn't really do a whole lot for your social media audience, and the reason is you're not telling a story. There's so many people out there that could be better off, that could have their problems solved, that could be more financially fit into the future, but they have misinformation, they're not taking action. There's so many roadblocks that they're running into, and they need someone to guide them through the other way. And those case studies and testimonials should be the way that you're doing it. Do not post, 5-star review, great communication and service. We don't want that. Tell the story of your borrower, right? What misconceptions did they come to you with, right? What were their problems? What solution did you provide for them? And what was the result, right? What was the outcome? Telling those stories is a great way and the best way to get other people in your audience to realize, hey, that's me. I don't think I could buy, but this person was in the exact situation that I'm in, so maybe I actually can buy, right? And that starts a conversation. Or, right, hey, my friend or my cousin or whatever, someone that I know is in that exact situation, and they kept saying that they wanted to buy a home or they wanted to refinance or whatever, but they kept telling me, oh, I don't think I can because of X, Y, and Z. But they just read this story that told them otherwise, right? So really, really important to unpack the experiences that you're giving people and tell their stories. Granted, you don't have to give all the personal details and all that stuff, but telling their story is a really, really powerful way to differentiate yourself, to educate other potential clients and customers out there, and really show the experience that you give them that's going to gain their loyalty as your customer. Okay, so really, really powerful exercise to walk through here. Let me know in the comments what you took away from this exercise, and also something else, what you've been working on to develop your marketing plan and specifically your value proposition. All right, so let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. This is our first initial episode, long form video that I'm doing on here. These are going to be popping out every single week. Super, super pumped to do that. So again, let me know in the comments what you're working on from a marketing standpoint and what you got from this exercise here. And that's all I got for today. I will see you guys on the next one.